Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all waking up to some. We're gonna make some good glass today. Yeah. Sorry, didn't rehearse today. Anyhow, got a piece in the kiln here we're working on. Alex Ubatuba and I have been working on all morning, and yeah, we're gonna be working on that. He's making a little cab right now, demo for the students. And I have to make an uptake to go onto this piece, so it's going to be like measure the piece with the calipers, and then I'll pop some holes out, and then actually do that right about now. And I gave Harry a bunch of talking points so he can answer some of the messages in the chat. So he'll have some important information that he can answer questions, but he might have some more questions. He might come in here and ask, and then I'll try and answer some of those. Looking for a coupling. Oh, here they are. Here's the couplings. No, I'm missing my reamer. Right here. Oh. Could someone grab the reamer from the lathe? I think it's sitting over there. Thanks. Okay, so these are ready to go. Just just got to measure distance. This design is called a quad remibulator, and it has 4 of these marbles with a marble, like a sphere over it. So it stands for, MIB stands for marble in ball. That's where I came up with the name MIB. I'm gonna lock these calipers. Now I know the exact size, distance. How long do we have today for this demo? 1 hour. Nice. We'll get some progress made on this piece, but we still have quite a bit to go. lower this torch just a little bit. So I'm just doing some wigwags here, nothing too crazy. It's for the uptake on this piece. I was hoping to have this part done already so I could just work on making some other parts for it, but these things take so much longer than you expect. I just need a long enough section to make this U-bend. So I'm wig-wagging probably to there. Then I'm going to kind of blow this out, but I'm not going to blow it out into a ball because it's going to be actually like the uptake. It's going to be the uptake on there. Just making little micro adjustments to these wig-wags as I go. Sometimes you can just do them perfect every time. Sometimes you're a little bit off. The beauty of it is you can always go back and fix it. It's like being able to go back in time. You're like, oh, I can fix that. I'm spending a little bit of time on this wigwag, but it is kind of a lot of, I need a lot to get this bend done. Goes across from one mib to the other. Kind of cooling this off in between each twist to speed up the process a little bit. This is probably the equivalent of watching someone putt in golfing. It's just like super quiet. Like, okay, now he's about to putt. It's funny. But flame working, the way that we do it here is tedious process. Tedious and time consuming. Like this piece here, we've been working on this for way over a week now. And we're probably like 75% done. Still got some work to go. Alex made all these Warlock components. They're gonna go on the outside of it. Could show off one of the components if you want. You want to bring it over? You want to hand me a component? I just want to show it off so people can see what's going to go on. So this is like, this is going to hang down like this off the bottom of the joint. Pretty sweet component. And then we got that one. This is going to go up towards the, kind of in the middle of the piece. And it's going to be viewed from that angle. Then we have a bunch of horns. Lots of horns to put on with avolios on the bottom. Alex style horns. He's very tedious and makes sure that they're perfect. And actually the pull that we did on this piece, the main purple color, is like several layers dipped over each other. Alex has a boro furnace, and we started with a blank that I made of royal jelly with clear on the inside. Then then I sleeved 3 layers of Dimarco over it, and then we dipped it in rose gold, this color that Alex had in his furnace, and then rose quartz. That's right, rose quartz. And then we dipped it in nightshade. And then when we got it here, we actually sleeved it with another like layer of clear to make it work better. So that's like the main color in the piece. And then there's these splashes of rainbow with royal jelly backstack tubing that we did all the patterns with. You'd think with all those layers of color that the tubing would be like really, really dark, but we watered it down with enough clear that it's very transparent actually, so you can see through it really, really well. And I think that this is going to be good. Alex is working on shaping out some of his Warlock horns over there.
Still go up the back of the piece around the back mid.
Yeah. We'll go around the mib on the back of the piece. Gotta raise my torch up just a tad. I'm just going to bump this out a little bit as far as diameter of this tubing. Being really careful not to twist up all my pattern. I want to keep this straight. think I calculated just the right amount of tubing for this uptake. All right, so I finally got that worked out a little bit. Just gotta puff it out a teeny bit more. Looking for the right wall weight here, because this was really thick while I was doing the wigwags. Now it's getting thinner. Wall diameter is getting bigger, but wall thickness of the actual tube is getting smaller. So now I'm going to take these calipers here. This is always a fun part. Get this thing pretty hot. Bend it like this. Give it a little puff. A little bit of stress in here. I'm just going to polish this. Looks like the bend went pretty good. I kind of like how when you bend these, it actually makes the wigwags a little bit tighter in the bend. And let's see how this goes. I don't know if that's going to work actually. I'm just going to hand tear this. Sometimes I can get away with scoring and snapping. And I have to add black lip wraps actually to the bottoms of each side of this to go onto the piece because this is connecting to clear, and I put black lip wraps everywhere where there was a color clear connection. Only on the color clear connections just to add more definition. Add a 8mm punty here. Cool it off a little bit over there for you, sorry.
What's that?
Oh, it's just hot because I had that thing raging. Kind of a temporary handle here, but I welded it on all the way. And maybe on this one, I could get away with the Score Snap Tech. Saves a lot of time when you get it. That was way easier, right? Just have to trim it up a little bit. So I'm going to check to see length on this piece here. This might be a little long, but I can always trim it. Trim it a little bit. So those of you just tuning in, this is a collab piece that I've been working on with Alex Ubatuba. He's been my TA this whole class. Right now he's working on some horns for the piece that are called Warlocks. And I've got several, this piece is called the Quad Remibulator. It's like a bunch of my designs kind of mashed together into one design. And this is the uptake that I'm working on right now. Like a wigwag uptake. I'm just trimming it a little bit. And then I'm going to add some black lip wraps to the bottom of this and then stick this on the piece. gonna have to make it work with this one stringer. Nope. I think this should be enough for both. Didn't stay on there. Giving this a little reheat before I stick it on the piece. Got a little cold here back by the punty. See how this fits on here. Still a little big. Might have to tear some more off. Probably should have checked the size before adding the lip wraps, but it's all good. You gotta pull another stringer of this color. It's called Galaxy Black. It's what I used for the lip wraps. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's definitely good now. Yeah, I don't think I even need to check. Oh, fell out of my hand there. Wasn't actually hot. These things are slippery. I think I'm just going to tear a teeny bit more off here. Re-add the lip wraps. I'm gonna get this thing on the piece before this demo is over. What up? Oh, really? Okay, cool. So we're gonna go a little longer than 1 hour, which is awesome. Get to see a little bit more of the process. See how close I am here. Should be good. Some of you may have fell asleep, but it's about to get a little more exciting here once I get this piece out and stick this thing on here. That's looking good. Get that out of the way. That was the double seal. Just got to work this thing in, and it's looking pretty good. Got to keep both sides hot while I'm doing this. Kind of dance back and forth on the steel. It won't move while I'm doing this because I'm not heating the whole steel on either one. thing's getting heavy.
Get a lot heavier.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Test the straightness. Pretty good. I think this is where this Mad Hatter Bunsen really shines. I can spread these barrels and move them apart and then heat more of this piece while I'm working on it. Oh, lost my mouthpiece. Hoses are always getting caught up right here. Do that number. Ooh. Touch the flame for a second. Yeah. I'm just gonna sit here. I should probably just have this set up like this. This is much easier. Wow. Damn. Could do this all day. Just gonna give it a kiln reheat. more wigwags. This one will be for the perk, a part in the bottom of the piece. This is the part that is basically the heart of the function of the piece.
Are we still trying to attach this to the joint first, or we can like have a pad on the back of it to move the can first? Brace it. It's pretty heavy.
We need to, before we make that decision, we need to like get to that point, have the joint on there, and then look at it. And then we could just like make that however we think is going to be best.
It's feeling pretty heavy to keep in a joint tool.
Yeah,
Might be
that's
better
what
just to place it on
that's
the
what
can
I
first.
I either want to place it on the can first or on the bottom of the joint after the joint's already on the piece, which I've done lots of times. It's not hard. It's going to be a smaller wigwag, really small actually. Actually gotta move this. That's gonna be better. This thing wasn't straight. There we go. That's much better. Mini, we're going mini here. After I do a big move like that on the piece, I like to let it sit in the kiln for a while and reheat nice. Even though I was keeping it warm on the Bunsen, it's not always enough. You want to just know that the piece is annealed. Especially when you have a week and a half on a piece. More than that, because we made the prep while we were in Colorado. Brought the prep out here. Yep, we had to prep. There's a lot of that in flameworking. seems like my pieces keep taking longer and longer, not the other way around. Yeah. More attention to detail, more time on parts, more techniques. Lots of new colors in the borosilicate palette nowadays too. Actually, let's do a poll. If those of you in the comments know what your favorite color, borosilicate colored glass is, put it in the comments. I want to actually see. I want to get a poll. What's your favorite color? Should be interesting. Maybe we'll get a lot of comments. Is there any way of knowing how many people are live? I don't know.
167.
67, cool. Oh, 167, nice. That's a good amount. So we'll find, I'll hopefully get to look at these comments later and see what color was the favorite. What about you guys in the class? What favorite borosilicate color? Go. Ghost? That's a nice one. Loki's lipstick. That's a nice one. Plantphibian. That is a really nice one too. Lotus white. Mixing colors. Oh. I like to do that too. Deja blue. That's a really good one.
Belladonna and silver.
Silver and gold also count as colors. So if you prefer silver and gold, you can comment that and that will count. For me, I would say it's probably one of the Molten Aura colors or multiple. I really like the Plantphibian, the Royal Jelly, the Telemagenta, the Moonstone, which they haven't released for a while. Really wish they would release some of that Moonstone. And
Belladonna.
oh, nice. Colors coming up. Oh, Silver Fume. Silver Fume is awesome. If you like Silver Fume, then you would really like Ghost or Ghost from North Star or Moonstone from Molten Aura. Blue Stardust is a nice color for sure. Just don't use it on stuff where it gets garaged too long, or you could have cracks.
Or you gotta just drop your temp to like 930.
Yeah, or you can drop your temperature to 930 degrees so it doesn't get any crystal growth from that chromium in there.
Lots of votes for Belladonna.
Belladonna, interesting. I haven't tried that color. Kryptonite, that's a good one.
Where the North Star Yellow fans at?
We're the Molten Aura fans, I think people don't know. Now they know. Good luck getting any. Should we do another survey? Favorite style of pipe? So shape-wise, what is your favorite shape of pipe out there? Go.
Classic Sherlock.
The classic Sherlock. It's probably very high on the list for me.
Hammer.
Hammer is also a great one. Definitely high on my list as well.
Yeah, lots of votes for Hammer.
Yeah. Hammer's my fave.
Hammer.
Classic Sherlock.
Classic Sherlock. Great shape. Yes. Can't go wrong. The up lines? Yeah. I mean, anything counts. If you know somebody's style of piece, like a particular artist piece that you like, that they have a name for it, then that's a style of piece as well.
I really like Quake recyclers.
Yeah, Klein's. Yeah, the Klein recyclers are really nice for sure. What up?
King Bub.
King Bub.
Double bubble.
Oh.
On the sidecar.
Sidecars are awesome, yeah. So I think this is enough material for the perk.
What do you call your shapes?
I have all kinds of different funny names, but a lot of the newer ones are kind of different designs that I kind of mix the language of different designs together to create like a name. Like this piece that we're working on is called the Quad Remibulator, but it's quad because it has 4 of the mibs on it, and then is short for recycler because it's a recycler, and then the Redisculator was my first design, so I kind of added some of that language into the name as well, so that's why I named it that. We could talk a little bit about shapes. Something that I was talking about in the class was some of the styles of the shapes that we use in pipe making are based off scientific shapes that are out there. And one in particular that a lot of people use, and I use it as well, it's called a flask, and it's when you have a angled shape like this with a bottom like this. But a lot of people are calling it a beaker, but a beaker has flat sides like this. So it's just straight walled, whereas the flask comes out. So I'm trying to correct the language in glass world so that we use the correct scientific term for the shape. Kind of like people were calling dichroic diacrylic at one point. It's the same sort of thing. Or people were calling a kiln with an M on the end. So, you know, we got to fix these like little things. Then we'll maybe be taken more seriously by the rest of the world. Doing the termination here, so I'm getting the glass really, really thin on the end, and then picking off all of the glass. And I know the termination is good when, if I grabbed it one more time with a little punty, it would open a teeny hole on the end. So it's super thin on the end. And then I'm going to slowly melt this thing in, like heat and puff, heat and puff. So this is going to be a little pattern for the bottom of the perk. Small little splash of color down there really makes a difference.
Is that going to be on the bottom of the perk or on the top?
On the bottom. The perk will be like kind of like a little disc, basically. Wait, not ready for that quite yet. Gotta pop the hole. Do you guys have any questions in class? Yeah. Well, so while we were waiting for that to heat up, I made this little mini wigwag for the bottom.
You said you normally do a 3-hole perk.
Yeah. Just simple, it works well. 3-hole perk, definitely. I like them to be about the size of my larger, wherever my other tungsten pick is. Have it around here somewhere. I usually use my larger tungsten pick to get the size right. It's around here. There it is, yeah. So I size them to that. Once you find a good function in a piece, it's really good to just standardize a lot of the parts, especially the perk. That's one thing that you can control. And that kind of dictates how much water flows through the piece when you're making it, or when you're functioning the piece. All right. Actually,
One more move on here.
yeah, I was going to connect the uptake, and then should we just go for lunch?
I think you should just get this move done for the live stream. I think it'd be good. Lunch is out there till 1:30, so we don't have to really rush.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, good. Oh yeah, just a sec. Saved my arm. Need to do a little bit more straightening. Yeah, it might be actually bending it.
Better to like show them the lower half than like fabric.
Yeah. Yeah, these scut kilns run hot. Had to bend that out of the way a little bit more so I can get in here and puff this out for the intake where it comes into the spinner.
Actually, you can tell the teachers.
This one, not Jesus sealing, or Dieter sealing, yeah. Yeah, so that's another correction. I just called it a Jesus seal, but the real name is Dieter because of the scientific glassblower named, what was his first name?
Can't remember his first
His last name is Dieter. He developed this seal where you blow two bubbles together and then make it open into a passageway. But we decided to name it the Jesus seal because it was like miraculous. It does seem somewhat miraculous when you're doing it. But it's good to know where the heritage is from. I actually blew both of the holes out. Just tricky move. Wow, that saves my arm. This is great. What up?
Both holes out, but they're tacked a little bit, or are they not touching
He's able to get it to the tack.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'm gonna open the one and put a small flap there. Just kind of a tech that our friend Quave does, which is inspired from Ham. Ham is a really amazing glass blower. He's been blowing glass since the like early 90s, I think. Yeah, early to mid 90s. But all the modern day recyclers are all kind of inspired originally by him, but it's been changed so much, you know, and like what Quave did with the recyclers, he shrank the whole thing down and then made it a little bit more, I don't know, user-friendly, like smaller package. Yeah. Kind of like how we're still making these smaller pieces, you know? We used to make really big pieces.
Slowly coming back.
Yeah, I'm excited for the big pieces again. A little bit worried there.
Now you're just pretty much installing the jet.
Yeah. I have to open this small hole out right here. And I'm going to bend this a little bit closer. I kind of just get these close, and then I'm gonna make a purple stringer and close that on the next heat.
Enough.
You go to purple stringer? Oh, should I use solid royal jelly? That might be a little dense.
What do you want to do? Water it down a little bit.
Could water it down a little bit. That might help it. I don't need much. I could just put a little clear around this.
The stripes of jelly on clear.
That's actually a good idea. Other way around.
Water it down a little bit.
Yep.
Then you got the surface contact. Clean the seal up. You want me to work on that? You got it.
I can do this very quick. It's a royal jelly watering down stringer race. What's that alarm?
Massage in 5 minutes.
Oh, damn. No. Wow, lucky you. Massage in 5 minutes alarm.
They really take care of you at the Corning Museum of Glass.
They do.
Keep our guys healthy and get back in the pack. Alright, I'm almost done here. He's going quick.
Oh, I win. Got plenty now. I might end up using that. Was yours more dense or less dense?
Slightly more done. I would say because it's pretty watered down.
I put
I did mine on 6 mil. You did yours on like 8.
8, yeah.
So
But I also laid the full rod over, so I don't know. They're probably really close to the same.
I just encased it with stringers, so.
Well, I got extra. Might end up needing it.
Might.
Never know. Stringer race was fun.
Really close quarters.
I mean, technically, I think we tied because you started right after, like, I started. Yeah. So we'll call it a tie. All right, I'm going to close this thing up. It's kind of a quick heat, but I was rolling it in the Bunsen the whole time, so I don't think we're going to have problems here. Actually, I kind of like this one. I'm going to use your stringer for this part of it because it's fatter.
I'd say it's sufficiently watered down.
You know who's really good at this stringer tech, closing stuff up, is Salt. Boom, I used almost your whole stringer to close the top. Looks like perfectly watered down. I think I'm going to use, yeah, that's definitely the move. Just had to close a little gap. I think I got it. And then something I like to do to kind of heat up some of this material here, I puff it out a little bit. This kind of directs the water into the spinner. This is definitely something Ham did also on his recyclers from long ago. But I also think this is kind of a scientific seal. There's probably a name for this seal. Yeah, I mean, I always make my spinner spin counterclockwise because in the northern hemisphere, because of the Coriolis effect of the Earth's gravity, water spins in the northern hemisphere counterclockwise. In the southern hemisphere, it spins clockwise. In the equator of the Earth, it spins. It doesn't spin. There's no spin. So the farther you go north or south, the more intense the Coriolis effect is. So in the North Pole, whirlpools are like super crazy. Yeah. Because you have to think of like this thing, the Earth is rotating like this. Yeah, so if you think about it, you're like, oh, wow, that totally makes sense, yeah. So maybe recyclers work better if you go to the North Pole. They'll be like, oh, crazy, wow. Well, I think that's good. Yeah. Thanks, guys. A lot more moves to do on this piece, so I'll probably be posting pictures on social media. Some of the students will be. I'll be reposting them, so if you want to keep up on the progress, just watch us on social media. My page on Instagram is Eusheen, spelled E-U-S-H-E-E-N, just in case you don't know. But yeah, tune in and see the progress. And thanks for watching.